So Tyler Reddick got his first win since 2024 in the NASCAR Cup Series at the Daytona 500 on Sunday by leading only the final lap of the race. The driver of the 45 2311 Racing Toyota gave his co-owners Michael Jordan and Denny Hamlin the first win in the Great American Race for that organization. The win was the ninth of Reddick's career. With him leading the final lap, Reddick became the 25th different leader, which is a new record in a Daytona 500 race. He also ended a 38 race winless streak in the process with his Daytona 500 win. Before his Daytona 500 win, the last time Reddick won a race was the Straight Talk Wireless 400 at Homestead Miami Speedway on October 27, 2024. Homestead will return as the championship race finale along with the chase format this year. Reddick got a push from teammate Riley Herbst in the final 500 yards of the race and was able to pass Chase Elliott and get first to the finish line. Since there was a lot happening behind Reddick when there were crashes due to Herbst doing a late block on Brad Keselowski and a number of cars slid sideways across the finish line, Reddick was already celebrating the win. Reddick won by 0.308 seconds over 2023 Daytona 500 winner Ricky Stenhouse Jr. Here's Reddick talking about what it's like being a Daytona 500 champion after all he went through last year with his baby boy, his team, NASCAR, and more, courtesy of Fox.
I know last year was really hard for all of us, hard for me. When you're a Cup driver and you get to this level and drive for Michael Jordan, it's expected you win every single year. And for us to go on that drought that we did made us really look hard in the mirror, and just really proud of everyone on our Chumba Casino Toyota Camry. Worked really, really hard in the offseason, and there was many points in this race where we weren't making decisions that we wanted to, but we just reset. And every opportunity that we got to resack, we went back at it, and just speechless. I didn't know if I'd ever win this race. It's surreal, honestly. Honestly, the best part is my son asked before the race, "Are you finally going to win this race?" And something about today just felt right.
Here's more from Reddick talking about the final lap after not having any teammate help, but he was there when it counted most, and more, also courtesy of Fox.
Yeah, I know. I keep looking for my wife and my kids. They'll be here at some point, I'm sure. Maybe they're taking a nap. Who knows? But yeah, I mean, we had the lead there when that caution came out and lined up next to the McDowell, and we just kind of kept getting hung a couple times in the closing laps there. And yeah, just every time we kind of break up, there'd be someone really with nowhere left to go but to push. And they pushed me. Obviously, my teammate Riley Herbst gave me a lot of pushes there and then tried to win the race for himself, as he should at the end there. And just incredible how it all played out. Just true Daytona madness. And just, man, it's going to be a long night if I've already lost my voice from screaming. Just never thought I'd be a Daytona 500 champion.
The final lap had several drivers that looked like they would be the ones coming away with the Harley J. Earl Trophy. Spire Motorsports driver Carson Hocebar was leading at the white flag, but he spun in turn 1 and was out of contention after that. And that incident including Eric Jones and 2021 Daytona 500 winner Michael McDowell. Elliott then was on the point and looked like he was in a catbird seat to get his first crown jewel win. However, Reddick gained momentum off of Herbst's bumper. Not long after that, Herbst's attempted block helped stop Keselowski's big run on the outside wall, which helped clinch the win for Reddick. Hocebar wound up finishing 18th after the incident. Here's Hocebar talking about what took place as he was going down the front stretch and more, also courtesy of Fox.
Yeah, I don't really know what happened other than I felt like I got a good shot in the rear, but they were a little offset, and I was just trying to just get our lane rolling, but really proud of these guys. At least it wasn't a tire or a motor or something other freak deal. So I go to bed tonight knowing that, and knowing that I don't know what I would really do different. I was just really proud of our effort and our car, and felt like we could push no matter who it was to the lead and go forward and then kind of run lanes, but I was a lot better pushing. So just felt like we were going to be in a good shot, and felt really good about today. And it was so close. Spectrum's first race, which we appreciate, and just thank goodness Dan Towers and Jeff Dickerson believe in me, and they get to let me have a lot more shots at this Daytona 500 thing. But besides for the year, that's good points, and between the duel and the stage, and then having a shot with our speed and going to a track I really like, hopefully we can make something of this.
Stenhouse, who finished second after being close to winning a second Daytona 500, talked about that final lap and more, also courtesy of Fox.
It was wild. restarting 13th there. Felt like we pick and chose, the right lane, especially down the back straightaway. I told my spotter I wanted to, probably get up to the top eventually, and we kind of worked our way up there. And then all of a sudden we're, pushing. We're in the top 5, and, anything can happen from there. And the wreck happened. We took the lead going into 1. I was, kind of praying for a caution there, but NASCAR did a good job letting it, race back to the line. And then I thought we were done down the back straightaway, and then all of a sudden, the 22 and I got hooked up, and wreck happened there coming to the line. The seas parted. I thought I was going to go through to take the win, and I didn't see the 45 so far out front. So got clipped by the 22, but our Chef Boyardee Chevrolet ran really, really strong there when we needed it to. We had a strategy to, go to the back from the start and be around at the end, and everything worked out perfectly. The guys did a great job preparing a car, and we'll take a top 5, a second place finish, close to another Daytona 500. Bittersweet, but good momentum. We'll go to Atlanta and try and get one.
2015 Daytona 500 winner Joey Logano came home third in his 22 Shell Pennzoil Ford. Here's Logano talking about his day, what happened in the end, and more, also courtesy of Fox. Plus, Logano is sporting a new look after shaving his head bald in the off-season due to his alopecia condition and grew a beard as well.
Yeah, eventful day for sure. Had a little bit of damage from a wreck earlier, and I made a good move there at the end. We got to the top, and we were rolling, and found myself racing for the lead. And I had an opportunity to get underneath the Spire cars in the middle of 1 and 2. I felt like it was the right move, and when I did it and put her out in the wind, I guess the damage just was more than I thought because it just kind of slowed down, and I couldn't clear like I thought I was going to. So. Unfortunately, that kind of set us a little bit further back. Missed the last lap crash into 1, and off of 4, you just kind of go where they're not. And I got spun and came across the line third. So compared to where we've been in this race recently, to see the finish is great. I ended up in the same building, but at least I seen the finish, and that's just kind of where it was.
Chase Elliott finished fourth after coming so close to winning the 500. Here's Elliott being asked on what happened in the final lap and more, also on Fox.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not really sure what happened with the first wreck. Kind of obvious that's a little, further around, but we ended up, kind of getting gifted the lead, and the 38 and I had got out by ourselves down the back, and he gave me a good shove off into 3, and then it was kind of just he and I, and at that point, I just felt momentum shift, like there was going to be another run coming behind us there at some point, and unfortunately that was accurate. And then, at that point in time, you're just on defense, and man, that's a really, really tough place to be, truthfully. And, I obviously looking back, you can run it through your mind 1,000 times. Do you do something different? I feel like if I had thrown a double block on the 45, probably would have just crashed us at that point in time. So I feel like you had to kind of pick your battles. I thought maybe, somebody would pick me up on the top and you might have one more run to the line, but unfortunately ended up, getting turned around. But appreciate all the effort, everybody. Hendrick Motorsports, Napa, Chevrolet. Thought we had a good speed week down here, and obviously hate to. Just really sucks to be that close and come off turn 4 with the lead and not finish it off. But that's part of this event, and unfortunately we were on the bad end of it today.
Keselowski finished fifth as he had surgery for a broken right femur on a ski trip in the offseason and is still recovering from that injury. He's still yet to win the Daytona 500 after his 17th try. Here's Keselowski talking about what happened in those final laps of the race after having to settle for fifth and more, also courtesy of Fox.
Yeah, a lot of chaos. Last restart I gave William Byron a great push and just wasn't enough to move our lane. I was giving him all I had, and then right here at the end I had this huge run and the 35 wrecked us. So really disappointed. He tore up the 9, tore up the 22, a bunch of cars that didn't deserve to be wrecked. So that was a big bummer and really stupid, but still a decent day for us to come home with a top 5 and to be competitive and have a shot to win, Josh.
Here's Keselowski also being asked on how the leg is, also on Fox.
Great. Once you're in that race car, I got a fast Mustang and it's just digging.
As wild as the finish of the race turned out to be, the craziness happened earlier in the day. With 7 laps to go in the second stage, there was contact between the 40 Chevrolet of Justin Allgaier and the 11 Toyota of 3-time Daytona 500 champion Denny Hamlin, which started a 20-car crash in the triangle. Allgaier was leading the top lane, but had left a narrow lane open to his right side. As Hamlin tried to fill in the hole, Allgaier's car moved to the wall, turned across the nose of Hamlin's Camry, and all hell broke loose after that. Here's Allgaier's thoughts and more. I got to the outside lane there, got to the front, got the outside lane. Allgaier said, who finished 38. And I really thought I had blocked enough of that top lane that the top line was just going to fall in behind. Here's more from the 2024 O'Reilly Auto Parts Series champion. And as soon as Denny went to that quarter panel, it just sucked me in there. Allgaier said, it's 100% my fault. That's the frustrating part. I should have moved it up higher. But there are moments where you get a little bit complacent. You think you did everything right, but you didn't check all the boxes. That's what happened there. Even though Hertz was involved in that crash, his car didn't get a lot of damage, which helped play a factor in 2311 Racing getting the win. Here's 2311 team owner and 6-time NBA champion Michael Jordan talking about being a Daytona 500 champion and more, courtesy of Fox. Plus, it was an early birthday present for Jordan, whose birthday is on February 17th.
I can't even believe it. Yeah, I mean, it was so gratifying. I mean, we had 4 guys that were really fighting, that was helping each other out. I mean, you never know how these races going to end, right? It's like you just try to survive. And, you know, I thought Riley did an unbelievable job by pushing at the end. You know, that shows you what teamwork can really, really do. I mean, he doesn't get enough credit. He won't get enough credit, but we feel the love. We understand exactly what he did. And, I mean, we just hung in there all day. I mean, we great strategy by the team, and we gave ourselves a chance at the end. And, look, I'm ecstatic. I mean, I don't even know what to say. It feels like I won a championship, but until I get my ring, I won't even know.
The rest of the top 10 was Zane Smith finishing 6th, Chris Buescher 7th, Herbst 8th, Josh Berry 9th, and Bubba Wallace 10th. Here's Wallace talking about what the range of emotions were brought throughout the day and more, also courtesy of Fox.
Oh, man, I don't know what to say. First off, hats off to the 45 group. I don't want my emotions to take away from the monumental day they just accomplished. Man, happy birthday, MJ. That's a massive birthday present. I just noticed that Chumba Casino was on his car, so that's 2 crown jewel wins for them, so that's pretty damn cool. But man, I just told MRN here, I thought this was our week, the best 500 I've ever had, and come up short sucks, but couldn't be more proud of the team. Pumped for Xfinity to jump on board the way they did and debut their first primary race in the 500, led a lot of laps, lap leader, I believe. It was a good day for us, but damn, try again next year.
Other notable finishers included William Byron, who was trying to become the first driver to win 3 straight Daytona 500s, was 12th, Daniel Suarez 13th, pole winner Kyle Busch 15th, Kyle Larson 16th, Ryan Blaney 27th, Craftsman Truck Series champion Corey Heim 28th, 7-time Cup champion and Hall of Famer Jimmy Johnson finished 29th as he announced that the 2027 Daytona 500 will be his final Cup Series race. Shane Van Gisbergen 30th, Hamlin 31st, Connor Zillage 33rd, Christopher Bell 35th, Chase Briscoe 36th, and Alex Bowman 40th, respectively. 25 different drivers led the Daytona 500, which is a record for the race, and the lead changed 65 times. Smith won the first stage, which was his first career stage win, and Wallace won the second, under caution due to the 20-car accident. This Daytona 500 was also the 23rd Daytona 500 that aired on Fox, which is the most times any network has aired the Great American Race. It broke the previous record of 22 times, which aired on CBS, according to Mike Joy on the Fox broadcast. Congratulations to Tyler Reddick on winning the Daytona 500. What an incredible win for him and for his team there at 2311 Racing especially. They've been through a lot in the past year, especially with Reddick not winning a race last year in 2025 and the help of his baby boy as well. But thankfully, he was able to celebrate with his family in Victory Lane. And obviously the 2311 Racing situation with NASCAR there with the lawsuit, thankfully that's been settled and now there's permanent charters there as well. So definitely that's pretty cool there especially. But for a driver like Reddick to not win last year, definitely was surprising, especially since he's part of a top team there with 2311 owned by Michael Jordan and Danny Hamlin, like I said. So definitely for him to be able to win with that team, especially to end that long winless streak, a 38 race winless streak specifically, definitely the Daytona 500 is a great place to end that winless streak, especially since Reddick is one of the best drivers in the Cup Series. So for him not winning last year, definitely was shocking, but definitely was pretty cool that he got back to Victory Lane, especially the biggest race race of the year. So definitely that's pretty cool for him there especially. And also pretty cool that Michael Jordan gets to say that he's an NBA champion and a Daytona 500 champion. So definitely that's pretty cool. And Danny Hamlin, he could also say he's a champion of the Daytona 500 as a driver and as an owner. So definitely that's pretty cool there especially. But I'm happy that Reddick won. He only led the last lap, but that's the most important lap. That's the only lap you need to lead in order to win the Great American Race. So definitely that's pretty cool. But yeah, I'm happy that there was a different winner this year in the Daytona 500 because of the fact that William Byron won the last 2 years. He looked like he had a chance to win again this year, but he finished further back this time as he finished in 12th. So definitely I'm happy that Reddick got the win, like I said, especially. It sucks that another year that no champion won the race. It looked like Chase Elliott had the race in hand, but he was crashed there late on the final lap. But it was unfortunate. I would have liked to have seen him win because of the fact it'd be nice to see a new driver, especially a champion, that had won the Daytona 500 as Elliott, Kyle Larson, Ryan Blaney, Brad Keselowski, and Kyle Busch have been racing the Cup Series for a while, and none of them have won the Daytona 500. So another year with all those guys not winning, especially Keselowski and Busch. Busch had a good run there, especially early on, especially he won the pole. So it was unfortunate that he wasn't able to pull it off. And he just didn't have the car there late in the race, so it sucked there especially. But I'm hoping that one of those champions will finally win this race, especially in the pre-race with Clint Bowyer and Kevin Harvick, thinking that a champion would win the race, specifically Bowyer. Unfortunately, that didn't happen, but at least there was a new winner, so that's pretty cool there especially. But what a star-studded weekend there at Daytona, especially in the Chrysler Truck Series, with Tony Stewart making his first NASCAR start since 2016. Hall of Famer Tony Stewart, even though he didn't have the result he was hoping for in his return, as he was out of the race early, and he finished 36th. Along with Ram making his return to the Chrysler Truck Series as well. YouTuber Cletus McFarland running in the Chrysler Truck Series race as well. Unfortunately, he didn't have a great run there, especially as he crashed early in the race. Even though he did finish 11th in the ARCA Menard Series race the next day on Saturday, so Chrysler Truck Series race was on Friday night. And Frankie Muniz is running another full-time year there in the Chrysler Truck Series as well, as he finished 16th. It's also pretty cool that Travis Pastrana got to race again in NASCAR in the Chrysler Truck Series there as well, so definitely was pretty cool. And on Sunday, there were a number of stars there at the Daytona 500 with Marshawn Lynch, Puka Nakua, Miranda Lambert, and Kurt Russell, and others there at the Daytona 500 as well. It was also pretty cool to see Bart Simpson waving the green flag there at the 500 as well, as that night of the 500 was the 800th episode of The Simpsons on Fox, so definitely that's pretty cool. But yeah, speaking of Fox, it was cool to see Chris Myers back at the track, as he wasn't at the clash at Bowman Gray Stadium and at Daytona earlier in Speed Weeks with the duels, as Josh Sims filled in for Myers in both places and did a good job. But it was cool that he was back there on the stage there at the 500 with the usual suspects, with Jamie McMurray, Kevin Harvick, and Clint Bowyer there at the pre-race. So that was pretty cool to see Myers back there at the track. So, but yeah, speaking of Fox in the pre-race, one incredible tribute for those that have been lost in the NASCAR community, specifically Dale Earnhardt, as they remembered him 25 years after his death in the Daytona 500 in 2001. And it was a silent lap 3 in honor of him, so that was pretty cool there especially. And also remembering Greg Biffle, who passed away in the offseason in a tragic plane crash with his wife Christina, their son Ryder, Biffle's daughter Emma, and 3 others there in Statesville, North Carolina. So definitely that was pretty sad what happened there especially. And what a tribute there by Fox there as well. Plus in honor of Biffle, RFK Racing and AJ Allmendinger ran the Biffle font on their car numbers as well, which they did there at Daytona specifically. And what a tribute by Fox also to Danny Hamlin's father, Dennis, who passed away in a house fire in the offseason as well, even though he had a terminal illness. So shout out to Fox for honoring those guys there especially. So definitely they're a big loss for the NASCAR community, and they are missed there as well. So definitely shout out to Fox, like I said. So that was pretty cool that they got to honor those guys. So yeah, that's pretty cool there especially. But yeah, what a race there in the 500 especially. It was nice that it wasn't affected by rain and all that. There was forecast for rain. That's why the race was moved up to start 1 hour earlier. It was supposed to start around 2:30 or so, but it got moved up to 1:30. Obviously the race doesn't start exactly at that time due to the pre-race festivities and all that as well. So definitely it was pretty cool that they got to race all 500 miles. So but yeah, the racing was exciting and all that. That would be pretty cool to be able to see 3 wide there, especially 4 times there, especially in the race, especially the strategy there with the fuel mileage and all that. Definitely created very interesting things, especially when the drivers went to pit road, especially different packs and all that, especially. Definitely split up the field there, especially. But yeah, that was pretty interesting, the race and all that. But yeah, congratulations to Tyler Reddick on winning the Daytona 500. Definitely a pretty cool win for him there and everybody there at 23-11. So, but yeah, it's pretty awesome that his win is no longer, oh, he's got to go to the playoffs and all that, winning you're in. I'm happy that that thing is gone now, especially. NASCAR did bring back the chase. So now it'll be 26 races to determine who will make the chase with 16 drivers and all that. So no longer the races will be focused on, oh, he's in the playoffs and all that. And definitely with the Daytona 500, it's nice to be able to talk about the Daytona 500 as a Daytona 500 race and the spectacle that it is. And not, oh, this driver's in the playoffs after winning a race and all that. None of that crap anymore. So, and no longer winning you're in or anything like that. So the drivers have to race straight up for 26 races to make the chase. So it is better like that, especially so. But obviously, when I saw a victory lane with Reddick's car, the winner sticker is still a thing. So even though there's no more winning you're in playoff situation, even though the chase is back, at least the drivers have something to still put on their cars in victory lane as well. So, but yeah, I would have preferred that the full season championship would have came back, but this is a closer step to that with the chase. So definitely it's pretty cool that at least a change was made, which is better than nothing. So, and to emphasize more on consistency and all that especially, and no more playoff points as well. So that's pretty cool there especially. But yeah, especially the races will get its much deserved focus, especially with new events coming up, with the Cup Series making its points race return to North Wilkesboro Speedway for the first time since 1996. And the San Diego Street Course race at the Coronado Naval Base. So those races will get its much deserved focus and no longer having to hear playoffs. That's no more. So I'm happy about that. So that was going to be a pretty awesome season there, especially. So, and yeah, what an incredible race there at the Daytona 500, like I said, especially. Yeah, it got wild at times there, especially with the big one. But that's how it is. So that's what you expect in this race. But cool that Reddick got that win and all that. And well-deserved for him and everybody there at 2311 Racing with Danny Hamlin and Michael Jordan, all that. So definitely pretty awesome that he got the win. And that was pretty cool there, especially. Anyways, hope you guys enjoyed. Don't forget to leave a like. And if you are brand new, subscribe. And we'll see you guys in the next video. Peace.